And just like that, bam, we're live. Matt, Debbie, hi.
Good morning.
What's up, man?
CrossFit Crave. Everyone knows who you are.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
And Matt and Debbie know people in high places. We got one of them today, Mr. Andy Wilson. Andy, hi. Thanks for doing this.
Savon, hello. Good morning. It's great to be here.
Director of the Department of Public Safety, 4,000 employees, big monster, multi-billion-dollar budget. What can you tell me in a nutshell what you do, or in two nutshells, 2 nutshells or 3 nutshells?
Sure. Look, we're responsible for all things related to keeping people safe in the state of Ohio. It's a big agency, 10 divisions. The biggest division I have is the Ohio State Highway Patrol, which is one of the biggest law enforcement agencies in the state of Ohio. I also have Ohio Homeland Security, Ohio Emergency Management Agency, the Ohio School Safety Center. So a lot of folks who, again, just wake up every day thinking about how we can keep the citizens of Ohio safe. And a big part of that, as I said, is the Ohio State Highway Patrol, which is my first responder group. That's my law enforcement group. And then as part of this job, I work with law enforcement agencies, public safety agencies, and other stakeholders all across the state. So very passionate about keeping people safe. Look, the number one function of government is to keep people safe. If you don't get that one right, nothing else flourishes. It doesn't matter how good your economic revitalization plan is. If people don't feel safe when they go downtown, they're getting robbed, they're getting mugged, they're just not going to go downtown. So we have to get that piece right. And what I'm excited about today, being here with you, is a big part of getting the public safety piece right is making sure that we take care of our first responders. And we got to hit that wellness piece. And we got to make sure that our first responders are really physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally well, so that they can do the job that we ask of them, and that they can make it through a very challenging and demanding career, come out the backside still healthy enough to enjoy retirement. So looking forward to talking about that. Looking forward to talking about really morale building, esprit de corps training, wherever you want to go in the public safety wellness space. I'm looking forward to it this morning.
Obviously you're on here because we're all excited, because those of us who do CrossFit or just any kind of exercise know the potency of it, the value of it, the fact that it puts us in control of our lives, and we can really move the needle more through exercise and nutrition than any other method in the world. And I was banned for a week on YouTube for saying that the biggest hedge you can build against any kind of sickness is nutrition and fitness. And because that went against WHO guidelines during the so-called pandemic, I was banned for a week. Let me ask you this, and then we'll dig down into, I'm really interested how you found CrossFit. I want to talk just philosophically, big picture. Everyone wants to help, no matter where you are in the political spectrum. Unfortunately, we've seen that helping people can often hurt people, right? So the example is, and I know this is a touchy subject, but if you give people, let's say, the SNAP program, and you're trying to help them, everyone wants to help people and get food on tables so that kids can eat healthy meals. But then when that money is used to buy things that actually harm your health, then we are all sort of complicit in bringing poison into people's homes, right?
Absolutely.
And so, there's a lot of things like that, right? And through, you are trying to help people, obviously, so that they can get from point A to point B without getting mugged, right? Which is great. We all need that so the society can function. How do you do that? How do you navigate that when it's the same thing with, I don't know if you have kids, but when you have kids and your kid falls down, I always say my job is to turn my back to the child and make sure it's safe. No car's going to hit him. No alligator is going to come out of the bush, so that he can safely fight the battle of standing back up. Where is that balance? Because I know a lot of people want government to lift them up, but we all know if it lifts you up too much, you lost the opportunity to do a burpee or a squat, and it makes you weaker instead of stronger.
Hey, right. You make such a good point. A mistake we make in government, and we do it. I think the people who do this do it really with the right intention. It's just the wrong result. Is we want to make things easier for people. And the problem is that by doing that, a lot of times we deprive them of the resilience that comes from having to overcome hard things. So look, doing hard things makes you better. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of times when we give people things, or when we make things too easy, they become dependent, or they don't learn to work for it, or they don't develop kind of the skill set necessary to kind of grind and work for it themselves. And again, I know we'll go into CrossFit later, but physical fitness and exercise and CrossFit is such a good metaphor for life. And again, having to work and grind and do it really with a group of people a lot of times together to accomplish a goal. So I think you make a really good point. I think it always comes from a point of wanting to help, but sometimes that help can end up hurting if we don't actually build front end skills that allow people to be resilient, teach people to really show some grit and some resilience, some determination on the front end. So, in the first responder space, I always, the job is hard enough as it is. There's so much trauma related to it, but man, I encourage the first responders that I work with, the law enforcement folks that I work with, in addition to your job, like outside, you got to be doing hard stuff all the time, and you got to be doing hard stuff with the folks on your shift. You got to be doing hard stuff shoulder to shoulder with the guys and gals in your department, because not only does that build teamwork, not only does that build resilience, man, but it just creates this esprit de corps, a sense of accomplishment, and just makes you better every day. Really, it's always about just being better today than we were yesterday. And again, a lot of times the only way you get there is by doing hard things. And sometimes you're going to do hard things and you're going to fail. And that's part of it as well. You got to pick yourself up. You got to dust yourself off. You got to learn the lessons and get right back at it. And, unfortunately, a lot of times we give folks, I won't say an excuse, but we give them opportunities or avenues to escape or to get away from doing hard things. So I think that's part of it. I don't know if that answered your question at all.
Yeah.
But I really think, look, I think there's so much value. Well, let's take it pretty broad. Let's look at playground, recess at playground of schools. Because of risk aversion, because of just kind of the way things are today, kids, I know schools that don't allow kids to play tackle football. They don't allow them to play, a lot of times, touch football. Yeah, they have to play, they got a lot of pass a ball. Some schools a lot of times may not even take these kids outside for recess. Man, I don't want to sound like that grumpy old man, but we were doing jumping out of swings, backflips out of swings. We were playing tackle football. We were doing all of these things that taught so many great lessons. Again, not just physical fitness, moving our bodies, but teamwork, problem resolution. Like we solved our problems on the playground ourselves. Grit. If you got smashed, or you jumped, you jumping out of a swing trying to go as high as you can to press that little girl that you like, and you end up coming down hard on an ankle, you ain't crying. You're getting up, you're dusting yourself off, and you're trying to suck it up the best you can, because you don't want them to see that. Man, I think there's good little lessons in that we've kind of gotten away from, and a lot of times those lessons are only learned through the fire and the forge of hard work and suffering. I say this all the time, and it's not my saying. I picked up somewhere along the way, but when I talk to our first responder folks, look, shared suffering breeds camaraderie. And when you're shoulder to shoulder with your guys and girls doing something hard, especially when that something hard serves a higher mission or purpose, something bigger than yourself, then, man, there's a camaraderie, a brothership, a sistership that is built that just endures past whatever the event was, and makes not only you better, but your unit, your department, your group better.
A couple of years ago, I took my kids to this playground that was touted as one of the greatest playgrounds in Los Angeles. And my kid, it was a couple acres of like kids equipment. And my kids and I rolled up on it. We live in Northern California, about 300 miles away. And we rolled up on it, and there was a big sign saying this was like the safest playground, in the city of Los Angeles or something. And my kids were there for 10 minutes, and they ran over to me, my 3 little boys, and they're like, "This playground sucks."
Yeah. Hey, how about
there were no
playground?
monkey bars. No, all the stuff was taken away. Everything was padded. It was goofball central. it looked like a rehab for people,
Mhm.
not a playground. It was sad, and they spent
Yeah.
millions on it.
Hey, look, you haven't lived until you've gone down a steel slide in 90-degree temperature that's been sitting out all day in the sun.
Right.
So
Right,
that'll
you're throwing leaves on it so your butt doesn't burn. I've seen my kids do that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But again, man, it just built you. Hey, I tell this story all the time. We had the monkey bars and the slides and the swings, and we were always doing crazy stuff, jumping, running, fighting, playing, like just all kinds of just kind of hardcore stuff. I never remember anybody getting seriously hurt. I mean, you were
Yeah,
always
me neither.
scratched, you were always bruised, you
Right,
were always
right.
yeah, maybe every once in a while somebody break a bone, but I don't ever remember anybody getting hurt, and everybody's just so risk averse now. Again, that goes to why your playground in North or in California was the way it was.
You know, I ran some numbers during the pandemic and was looking at the money they spent. And they could have built, like, with the money they spent, they could have built a $50 million youth facility in every county in the United States.
Yeah.
Massive. 50. They
Mhm.
could have bought an exercise bike for every single citizen in the United States. And I was just thinking about how that would have moved the needle in such a different way than how we used our resources.
Yeah, and think about what's going on now. So juvenile crime, youth crime is a huge issue across the country. So you got young kids committing very violent crimes, shooting each other, just doing terrible things. But a lot of times you go into these communities and there's nothing for these kids to do. There's no boxing rings. There's no solid youth MMA programs. There's no playgrounds for them to or if there are playgrounds, there's nothing bringing them out there. It's again, I don't want to sound like that grumpy old man, but it's just generationally things are so different, and I don't know if it's we have failed, our generation has failed to provide the infrastructure and really make these kids do some of this stuff. Again, my parents literally used to be like, get out in the summertime, get out of the house, just go find something to do. And we'd go run around and create our own adventures. And I'm guilty. Like I got 2 kids. I'm guilty of not forcing my kids to get out and do some of the stuff that I did as a kid. And as a result, they are pretty indicative of their generation with respect to the way they use their devices and everything else. So
Yep.
I was in Mombasa, Kenya. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Matt. Were you gonna say
I was
something?
just going to add. Yeah, I was going to add to that,
Please.
especially when you look at gang violence in the inner city. These kids are coming out of homes. They're looking for family. That's it, because they don't have it. They don't have that structure internally. They don't have a school or a school system that provides that community. So they jump into the gang, and that's where the gang violence comes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we say this all the time, right? A child that does not feel embraced by its community will burn it down to feel its warmth. And that's what they're doing. That's
Wow.
why you see youth violence where it's at today. And we see that all the time. Go ahead, Savon. You can ask a
I
question.
was driving through Mombasa, Kenya with Greg many years ago, the founder of CrossFit. And we drove by, corner after corner. And at the corners, we saw groups of young men hanging out, men between the age of 12 and 20 hanging out in groups of like 15 to 20. And Greg looks out the window and he goes, "Hey, that's a sign of a civilization and collapse." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You never want to see young men hanging out with nothing to do." And it reminds me, I have 3 of the best kids, most well-behaved, smart. And even yesterday, they were playing with a drone and it wouldn't come down. So my son, who's a brilliant kid, his idea is to throw a soccer ball to take down a $400 drone. And he's not thinking, you know what I mean? And he's not thinking. And so he takes it down and they come inside. They're like, "Well, we got the drone down, but the propeller's broke." I'm like, "How'd you do it?" They're like, "We threw a soccer ball at it." I'm like, "Oh boy." And it reminds me of my youth. If
yeah.
my friends and I were sitting around and we didn't have direction, someone would be like, "Hey, I'm going to throw a rock at that stop sign." Then someone else is like, "I'm going to throw it at that bird." And then someone else is like, "Hey, I can hit that car on the freeway." And next thing you know, we're doing dumb shit, but none of us have thought of the consequences. It's not like we were bad kids.
Yeah.
We just,
Hey, look, idle hands are the devil's playground. And
yeah.
they really are. And if you don't have young men and women engaged in constructive activities, making good use of the time, they're going to find things to do with it that typically results in bad things for the community. There's no doubt about it.
I want to show you this video. I think this is you. Is this you here?
Yes.
This is really impressive. This is you in a pair of dress shoes. What's the scene here? Where are you?
So we are actually at the Arnold Classic in Columbus that they have at the beginning of March every year. So this is a recruitment booth for the Ohio State Highway Patrol. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to put my money where my mouth is. So I ask these troopers to be physically fit. I ask these troopers, I tell these troopers all the time, look, your life ultimately could depend on how physically fit you are. So physical fitness is something that we push really hard in the State Highway Patrol, and we're trying to push it in law enforcement across the state of Ohio. So to that end, we do these recruiting fairs, and you can have a desk that where you hand out pamphlets and you talk about your agency. But what I found is people love competition and people love to be challenged.
Yep.
And so what we did when I came in, I said, hey, look, when we do these recruiting booths, we need to challenge the young men and women who are coming by our recruitment booth. Call them out, like see what they're made of, and have them get down and test themselves against something, against a number. So what we did that year is I would go over to the recruiting event and I would do a number of push-ups, and we'd set, that would be the number, and be like, can you beat the director? So I like to, again, and I'm 51 years old, and I'm surrounded by these young cadets, these young troopers who are in their early mid-20s. So a lot of times I get my lunch handed to me. But
Right.
what I like to do is, man, I like to go over and at least hang, at least kind of show them that I'm willing to sweat with them, I'm willing to get down with them, and I think that they see that I'm willing to do that, and I think it's motivating. It can be motivating, but what it does, if you looked at that booth, if you were to pan out from that booth, there's a bunch of other recruiting booths right around there. If you were to pan out from that booth, man, our booth was packed with lines of young men and women who were waiting in line to do push-ups to see if they could beat the number. And we have swag we'd hand out if you beat certain numbers. So look, competition breeds camaraderie. And if we compete, I've been pushing this really hard. So when I came in, I told the patrol, look, here's the deal. If you want to compete in something, if you want to go do a CrossFit competition, if you want to go do a half marathon, you want to do a triathlon, you want to do an obstacle race, as long as we figure out how to do it as a recruiting event, you take pamphlets, we set up a table, we do something like that. Let's treat it as an on-duty day. And we'll do it on duty for you. And that way, again, you and your guys and gals at your post can come together. You can get out there, you compete shoulder to shoulder, you suffer together. And at the end of the day, we're better today than we were yesterday. And again, because we're doing physical fitness, because we're going hard, a lot of times we're attracting attention. A lot of times we're attracting attention of young men and women who are like, hey, wait a second. Like, what are they doing over there? Hey, wait a second. I want to be like that. Man, look, Savon, I'm convinced that inside of everyone, inside of especially young men, man, there is a desire to be a competitor. There's a desire to do hard things. There's a desire to be the best version of yourself. Unfortunately, through society, through not being challenged, through allowing people to kind of coast, we don't tap into that. A lot of times we don't tap into that. And if you as a leader can push people just a little bit, man, a lot of times you find that inner hunger, you find that inner champion, that inner desire to be a champion, man. And what you end up doing is you end up making them really kind of a better version of themselves, or at least challenging them to be a better version of themselves. So as leaders, especially first line leaders, man, one of your most important jobs is to tap into that energy, man. Look, nobody wants to be mediocre. They may act like it, you know, they may be like, they may make excuses for why they're mediocre, but man, if you pull back a couple layers of the onion, man, on anybody who's worth their salt, man, they don't want to be mediocre. They want to be a better version of themselves. And again, I think a lot of times leaders fail, because we're so busy with the administrative tasks, the policies and procedures, especially in the first responder world. We just get caught up doing the day-to-day, reacting to whatever fires in front of us, and figurative fire, not literal fire, and putting that fire out, that we don't tap into that inner energy. Now, here's what I found, man. When you unleash that inner energy in your people, and a lot of times it only takes one or two change makers, man. If you can get into the heart of one or two change makers, you radically can alter the culture of your organization, man. You can set loose an energy that then bleeds over not into just the physical fitness side. It bleeds over into the way they do the job, the way they conduct themselves, the way they hold themselves out in the first responder space, the way they interact with each other on the team, the way they ultimately treat the citizens we interact with. All of a sudden the standard comes up. The standard becomes not it's not the floor, it's the ceiling that you're always reaching for. So as leaders, man, we always have to be pushing our people to unleash that energy and find that energy, man. And competition I think is the best way to do it. It's the most visible way to do it. If you can get people get people to do it. The problem is this, especially in the first responder world. Egos. Oh man, your ego just won't allow you to take the blow of coming in last. So I can talk about my fitness background, but
please. It is something that interests me. I am curious.
So I got a job. I found the gym at about 16 years old. I was a skinny, small little kid. I found the gym. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh,
in
I'm packing on some
Ohio,
muscle.
are you a native? Ohio native?
I am a native. I'm a native
Okay.
of Ohio. And it was the classic just gym where you go and you bench press and you squat and you curl. And that's what I was doing. I never really had a coach, never had any teaching. I just got in there and started lifting, but I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the people. Every once in a while I'd find a mentor that'd be like, hey, look, young man, try this or try that. So I kind of like that. I got a job in college at the gym on campus. And that's kind of really where my fitness journey took off, but it was still the classic benching, bodybuilding type stuff. So 3 sets of 10, a lot, I do chest and tries would be like a single day workout. So I spent a lot of time in that space. When I got into my early 30s, I found triathlon. I was kind of, I needed something different. I, believe it or not, even though I was in the gym all the time, I wasn't actually healthy. I was I was 5'10", like 228 pounds. So it was a lot. So I decided to switch it up a little bit. So I got into triathlon, and here's how I originally got to this story. The very first triathlon I did, man, was a little sprint triathlon, and I was 10 out of 10 in the Clydesdale division, man. And I came in dead. It was a miserable experience, man. I felt like I was going to die the whole thing. And a lot of times, like your ego, it was a humbling experience. Did I want to be 10 out of 10? No, I was getting passed by people. I'm like, how is this person passing me? But I just couldn't go any faster. So I had this experience that literally, if I wasn't able to completely set my ego aside, it would have destroyed me. I'd have been like, screw this, I'm going back to the gym. But I used it kind of as a motivation. Well, I think I can have a better experience. Surely I can get better than this. So I ended up getting with a group of people who did triathlon. I spent maybe 10 years doing triathlon, ended up all the way doing an Ironman. So, I worked my way up doing that. And then that had kind of run its course. And I got into some folks who were in CrossFit. Actually, my wife got into CrossFit first. So my wife got into CrossFit. She had some friends who were doing it, and she was trying to get me to go. And I kind of went over, and man, I'm telling you what, so I had a weightlifting background. By this time I had a triathlon background. I go to the CrossFit gym, and I probably make the classic mistake that everybody going to a gym who used to be a weightlifter does. I'm like, 95 pounds. I'm like, I can lift 95 pounds all day long on a bar. Well, it turns out you can't. It turns out when you're doing thrusters, you can't do a 95 pounds all day long. It gets pretty heavy pretty quick. So what I learned was I was getting destroyed. Same thing that happened with the triathlon. I was getting destroyed in these WODs. I mean, absolutely destroyed, laying on the floor while meanwhile, my wife and her friends were laughing over the corner, done with the workout, barely sweating. No, they weren't barely sweating, but they were laughing, not breathing hard. Like, I'm laying on the floor. I can't see straight. I'm about to pass out. But it was the same thing. Again, if you can check that ego, if you can put that ego aside. And what I found in the CrossFit world is the gym that I was at, everybody was very good. They were like, hey, look, come on, man. Let's keep going. Let's, come back. Great job. Great work. High five, all that kind of stuff. So then I got into the CrossFit world. I did that for probably another 10 years or so. And now I've kind of changed again, where I'm just doing more body weight stuff, more stuff that allow me to be functionally fit, where I can go do anything any day. So you want to go run a half marathon next week? Let's go run a half marathon. If I got to go run with these cadets, I can run with these cadets, but then I can also, if we want to go do a WOD, we can go do a WOD. So I've kind of transitioned into that space, and I can talk really, I'm believe it or not, I'm healthier than I've ever been in my entire life right now. And there's a couple of things I got going in that space, but that's kind of my journey. Now, the reason I laid that out is to show you, again, fitness has always been part of who I am. But I also understand how it can be intimidating. I can understand how it can be humbling. I can understand how people, again, especially if you're out of shape and you haven't done it for a while, it hurts. I mean, if you're gonna be honest, if you're going hard, man, it hurts. So a lot of people are just like, man, screw this. Like, why would I do this? I don't want to do this. They understand in theory that it makes you healthier, that you need to do it. But a lot of people just don't want to endure the discomfort that you have to endure to do some of these things.
And that's really quick. That's what makes what you're doing so impressive, because people are expecting the government to help them in ways that wouldn't make their life harder. But we do need people in government who will make it so they remove the red tape so people can open gyms. They'll reward people who are working in the office, who do the hard things. We have to find ways, and it looks like you're finding those ways to reward people who will do the hard things, because as we all know, your health, your productivity, for sure your happiness, your relationships with other people, all of those metrics to get the most dollar for your buck, it's going to have to be people who do their own thing. So you're kind of in a tricky spot. I always think about it, because people are looking to the government for help. But those of us who know the true path to health and happiness, we're like, we just need the path. We don't even need it carved open. We need it not impeded.
Right.
You know what I mean? We need it so, like, hey, we can open a gym without the city gouging us because we have 6 employees instead of 5 employees.
Right.
You know what I mean? We need our work to, instead of give us sick days, to give us wellness days, to give us time off for lunch to go work out. We don't need a Cheeto machine. We need a shower.
Absolutely.
And those people are the ones who should be rewarded. But it's tricky, right? Because then the people who are voting, the constituents, are like, well, wait a second. I want free Diet Coke and a better parking spot.
Right. Which, again, in the end, is going to kill you.
Right.
And now, if we give you your free Diet Coke and your better parking spot, in the end, we're going to end up paying insanely high insurance rates for you.
Right.
So yeah, we're just backwards. Now it feels to me like finally it's starting to swing a little bit. People are starting to understand, but the whole system is backwards and upside down, man. Like I'll give you a great example. I go and I talk to law enforcement agencies all the time about wellness programming and allowing their people to compete in jiu-jitsu or mixed martial arts, or allowing their people to while on the clock, or allowing them to go and do workouts, go to a CrossFit gym, or bring an instructor in and set these programs up. The number one thing that I get as far as pushback is, well, what if somebody gets hurt? Well, what if somebody gets hurt? We don't want to pay a BWC claim on somebody. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. These are the same people that you're asking to lug a hose up 3 flights of stairs in a burning building? Are these the same people that you're asking to hop out of a car and chase a murder suspect across a field? And if they're not in shape, if they don't have the physical capacity to do that, number one, somebody's going to get hurt. A citizen's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to die. Number two, they're going to get hurt. And number three, you're going to end up paying out the nose for the acute insurance when they've blown a hammy because they hopped out of that car and took off after somebody and they haven't done anything physical for 2 years and they blew their hammy. Now you're going to pay for that. Not only are you going to pay the insurance cost, but you're going to have them not out on shift doing what they need to do. I just don't understand. Why we don't get this. I understand the stress and the strain of the personnel numbers, and we just don't have the people. We got to cover the shifts, and we got to cover the calls. I get that, but this is such a crucial piece. I preach this all the time. I think the ideal thing, let's just say you got an agency that does, let's say you have an agency that does 5 8s. So 40-hour week, your officers do 5 8s. You should figure out how either the first or the last hour of each shift should be training. 3 days a week, it should be physical training, because it's so important, not only to the physical ability to do the job like I just talked about, but your body's ability to fight chronic disease and just be healthier out the backside long-term when you retire or you get further into your career.
Camaraderie for the officers and the staff also.
Camaraderie for the officers and the staff. How about this? Mental well-being. Look, we know that exercise and that camaraderie is better than any pill you ever going to take for your mental and emotional well-being. It just blows out. It blows out the stress hormones. It releases the endorphins. We just know that it's so much better for you. So 3 days a week, we should be doing the physical fitness side. 1 day a week, we should be doing defensive tactics. So that's police jiu-jitsu, martial arts, something like that. Because again, if you're at a call or you're on the side of the road and somebody goes hands-on with you, at that point, man, it's too late to realize, oh, I probably should have been doing more of this training. It's just too late. Again, your life or the life of the people you protect may depend on it. And then 1 day a week should be mental, either personal development, mindset work. You could be tactical or technical development, but it should be something that challenges your mind or works your mind. So that's 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, a part of your shift. If we really cared about our people, man, if we would just force it, we would force this to happen. And I'm telling you, what you would see is not only better results for your people, you'd see better results for the public you serve. Your excessive use of force calls are going to go down. The interactions that folks have, that your people have with the public, just in how they treat them, how they talk to them, your internal personnel issues, your HR issues are going to go down. The way people cover for each other, the way they get along on a shift, man, I'm convinced if we just prioritize that level of proactive wellness, proactive training, that we would have to be less reactive, because it would just kind of take care of some of these issues that we deal with day to day.
My buddy who's a fire captain in California told me their number one injury in the fire department is firefighters hurting their back, and he goes in, hey dude, it's always the same thing. It's an obese person. Once again, the problem, the obesity epidemic we have, falling in the bathroom, and a firefighter who's also not trained getting in a bad position and lifting up the obese person from behind the toilet, and their back goes out. He goes, that's the number one injury claim. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I was just to reemphasize what Andy said there. We see that data inside of the prison system with the youth. We have incident rates dropping on youth that are active in a program that gets them physically moving, CrossFit, inside of the facility. So the incident rates between youth and staff have drastically dropped. So to his point, we're trying to gather that data so the state and other states can say, okay, here's the evidence we need. This shows that physical activity changes the perspective of the young man or young woman that's participating. Incident rates drop, athletes get healthier, the staff gets healthier, they feel better about their job, and they're willing to come to work instead of coming to work saying, okay, who am I going to have to fight today? And that's what they face.
Does that data help when he said, do the politicians care about that data? Or are
So
they
yeah,
stuck in their way?
no, so Matt has a great relationship with one of my colleagues in the cabinet, who is the director of youth services. So she sees that data. She has watched that. She is a believer, and not only that, she is talking about it to her colleagues in other states and her colleagues who work at the local level in Ohio. So yes, that makes a huge difference. It does. It's just, again, it just takes a while. So much of the government is just status quo. Well, that's the way we've always done it. So we're not going to change. So again, people see this as a boot camp type program, and they're like, well, we know boot camp programs don't work, and we're not bought into that. Look, it's just so different. First of all, it's not a boot camp program where you're just yelling at the kids. What this is that you're wrapping a community around. This is what CrossFit does. It's wrapping a community around people with the intent of really making them the best version of themselves, not just physically. Again, I've been to Matt and Debbie's program, and they work the kids out. It's a great workout, but then the last 10 to 15 minutes, we sit down and we talk leadership, we talk decision making, we talk life skills. Not only that, but they're accepted by the folks in the gym as part of the community. And that's what these kids are just missing: community. They're finding it in gangs, and they're finding it in other ne'er-do-wells. But if you can just pop them into a positive, supportive community, a lot of these kids have never been told that they can do something great, or never been shown that they can do something great. And when you have somebody just wrapping around them, patting them on the shoulder, being like, you did great today, and come back tomorrow, and we're going to do this, or, it bleeds over into the way they think about themselves. It bleeds over into the way they see themselves. It bleeds over the way they work at school or at a job. It's just building the whole person is really what it is. So
When they said that they made the parole officers also work out with the kids, I knew right away. I was like, oh, there's the magic. Because then the parole officer is seeing the kid different, and the kid is seeing the parole officer different. Because even no one's perfect, right? They're all coming with their preconceived notions. And then you work out together, and in a lot of that story drops, and it's just two people. And so they get that mutual respect. I mean, we've all seen it in the gym, right? In the CrossFit gym, there's some lady you never thought you'd talk to, or some guy, and you finish working out and you're laying down next to him, and you maybe have the most real conversation you've had all month with someone.
Yeah. Matt and Debbie have done a great job of not only doing the parole officers, but they bring in law enforcement. They have these events where law enforcement officers from across the state will come and compete with the kids. So have you talked about the Unity Games on this at all? So they just did.
We have, but please tell us about it more. More the better.
Unity game. Hey, Matt and Debbie, did you tell them who the Unity Games champion was?
Go ahead.
Look, I can't take credit for it because I'm the director of public safety. I think they stacked my team. I had a couple horses, man, that just went. But it was such a good experience. But really, what we did is we
this isn't a juvenile detention center right here.
It's a prison. Yeah,
prison.
That is a juvenile prison. So look, we didn't really.
Those don't look like the kids I hung out with. Those are some big kids.
Yeah. So I'm a former prosecutor, and I'm the director of the Ohio Department of Public Safety. I don't know exactly what the two kids that I got paired up with did, but when I was talking to them about how long they've been in and what they went in for, I'm certain that they murdered somebody. That's the only reason you go in there. So here I am, a former prosecutor and the director of public safety, working out shoulder to shoulder with a couple of murderers. And man, we were encouraging each other, hugging each other, pushing each other. And it was such a great experience. So they get to see me in a different light, somebody who doesn't want to just lock them up and throw away the key, somebody who's actually going. And again, these are that guy right there in that video right there. Those are SWAT teams. That's our SWAT. Those are our SWAT guys right there. That's a SWAT operator right there. Basically working together with these kids. So they get to see, they get to see us supporting them and really kind of being there for them. And then, we get to see, that's the end.
Oh, you look good there. That you should have come on like that, all sweaty. Look at you. You look look like, what's the guy's name who used to play Sean Connery in his heyday? Look at you.
Right, listen, I'm smoking. If you can hear me talking there, I'm like, but we had won. So hey, the other thing too is these kids get to see you lay it out for them, man. Like, again, I was right there shoulder to shoulder with them, just suffering with them. And it was hot. I think it was like 90 degrees out there, but But that's what these kids need to see, man. And for us, it was so good for us to be able to see these kids as just kids, man. Yeah, they'd made some terrible decisions and done some bad things, man. But they were trying to make themselves better. They weren't just sitting on their cot, watching an iPad or doing whatever they could. They chose to be part of this program where they made themselves better. So it's just such a good program. Now, again,
really quick, Andy, I hope you don't mind being objectified. We're very rude here on the show. This guy's jawline looks like it can cut diamonds. All right.
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it. So,
all right.
Because I'm clenching when I'm always working. So, no, it's good stuff. So we need to take programs like this all around the country, man. I'm telling you, there are just these guys have found the secret sauce. They have found something different. And there's a lot of times there's hesitancy to do it because, again, what if the kids get hurt, or what if the parole officers, what if our employees get hurt, pull a muscle or whatever. Look, we got to put that aside, because in the end, what we do is we make everybody better. And we got to break free from the status quo. We've got to look at different programs like this, man, because again, it's not just pounding these kids through physical fitness. It's whole person development. Now, we need to take that same concept into our public safety community with our first responders, because we again, the job is, we know throughout your career, you're going to be exposed to so much trauma that if you don't build resiliency tools on the front end, you're going to a lot of times come out the back end broken. Your health is not going to be great. A lot of times you're overweight. A lot of times you have the classic insulin resistance and heart problems and all of those medical issues, substance abuse, suicide. Those are all real issues that come as a result of seeing too many dead people, or standing inside a crime scene, inside the crime scene tape, while a mom is on the outside wailing over her baby who's dead. When I say baby, her young kid, 18, 19-year-old who's dead on the inside of the tape. Look, that's death by 1,000 cuts, man, is what it is. And we do a really good job in public safety of what I'll call reactive wellness. So if there's a critical incident, we do a great job of wrapping critical incident stress management. We do a great job of wrapping members, assistant teams, peer support. We'll wrap all of that around you after you've had a critical incident. Where we fail is we just don't do a good job of building front-end proactive wellness. And that is, again, I'm preaching to the choir here, but that is physical fitness, including diet. I include diet and taking care of your physical well-being. It is growing your mind, again, challenging your mind all the time to be better. You read personal development books, you read philosophy, you learn a new language, you learn a musical instrument. Challenge your mind to be better. So grow your mind, take care of your body. Third is emotional well-being. And when I talk about emotional wellness, really what I'm talking about is you need more positive deposits into your emotional well-being, things you like to do, hobbies that you like to do, good ways to decompress, healthy ways to decompress. Those are good emotional releases. You've got to develop those strategies in your life, and you have to avoid the negative ones. Again, the substance abuse, the gambling, like all of the vices that you see out there. Well, those are withdrawals from your emotional well-being. So if you're putting in the good positive emotional devices and avoiding the negatives, you just come out better. And then finally, it's just relationally. You just have to feed into the relationships that matter to you. Friends, like, man, a lot of people just don't have good, close friends anymore, because of, number one, we're kid centric. So I'm talking about adults who work in public safety. We're kid centric. So when we're not at work, we're at our kids' games, and which is all important. We got to support our kids. You got to support your family. That's all important. But a lot of times we don't have good friends that we can confide in when we're struggling. Good friends that you can just sit and talk to and blow off steam and be real with. So we have to feed into those relationships that are important to us, both family and friends. So if you take care of those 4 areas, again, your physical well-being, growing your mind, emotional and relational, you're going to come out the back end of this career in much better shape.
Matt and Debbie, I know the program. I know working with the government is not easy, and you guys have been very successful in your program. And I'd like to eventually hear from Andy in this too. Can you give us the big picture of what your program is and where you've infiltrated, and how other people can do it? And then maybe Andy, you can also give some advice. Hey, because we're lucky we have you because you understand the importance of moving the body and eating well. But a lot of people, we've seen the pictures of the people who are holding office in government, and some of them are on the complete end of lack of fitness and mental health. You can see their complete shit shows. So, Matt, can you tell us kind of in a synopsis, or Debbie, your journey and how big the program's gotten?
Yeah, I just got kicked, so I think I'm supposed to take this question.
Oh, okay, good.
So just to summarize it real quick, we provide community, physical, mental, emotional, for anyone, but our specialty is kids who have been left behind by the system, whether it's kids who are on probation, kids who are incarcerated, they're out on parole. We started in our gym. We now have a company, so we help communities, whether it's a gym or a government agency, come together. And this is what we do. And it was put on the map because of Andy. So we're here in our community. We've been doing it for 8 years. And it's led to a decrease in crime because the kids find all of the things he talked about at the beginning of the podcast: resiliency, grit, determination, value, a place to belong. And because of the decrease in crime, Andy came in 2021, visited the program, brought a bunch of colleagues, and put it on the map and said, hey, let's bring it forward. Let's bring it to other gyms. Let's bring it into the juvenile correctional facilities. Let's bring it to other states. Let's bring it everywhere we can.
Yeah. And that's it. To add to that, that's why we're now working in the public service side of things with first responders. And it all boils down to every community or every program that's funded by state or federal government has to be evidence-based, period. End of story. You can have a great program on paper, but if you don't have the evidence to back that up, that is the data that says, here's the success of what a program like this will do. You don't have anything. And what Andy did, unbeknownst to us, when he called me the first day, he's like, hey, man, I want to talk to you about your program. He was a senior law director for Governor DeWine. That's how he introduced himself. And I'm going, oh, shit, what'd we do wrong?
Right. Uh-oh, the government's on the phone. Right.
That was my first go-to. I'm like, what did we do wrong?
We'll change our water filter, I promise.
That's right. He threw this at us. He goes, you know what your recidivism rate are the kids that have gone through your program? And I'm like, I don't know what recidivism is. He's like, well, it's rates which these kids reoffend. I'm like, okay. He goes, your recidivism rate's like 24%. It's the lowest that we've seen. We need programs like this to help other communities because we have the evidence and the data. So you can have a great program.
So since he said that, Matt, you started collecting the data.
We took the data that we already had and then added to it.
Okay.
And that's why now working in the public defender space, working with public safety, I think will help us because we have some of that data already that we can take to fire chiefs and police officers and says, look, not only do we work with youth that are imprisoned or in the community on some type of judicial watch, we also work with the parole officers and the staff, and here's their change. And that will help bolster, hopefully, everyone to say, okay, maybe we need to try this fitness thing out. Maybe we can make a change that will make things different.
What, Andy, why isn't, I understand the importance of data, but the anecdotal evidence is so strong. Everyone knows that the best guy in their SEALs Bud class was a CrossFitter. Everyone knows the fittest guy at their fire academy. You're like, where's he from? He's a CrossFitter. The police. Every time you see someone, anytime they have these Titan games or this thing The Rock does or any of these these, you see the kids who win the Ninja Warrior projects, their parents are CrossFitters. Like, it always ends up going back to, oh shit, there's some CrossFit in their lineage. That's just not enough.
Right. Right. So when you got government money involved,
Yeah.
it always comes back to evidence and evidence-based. So, we can lay out anecdote after anecdote of why this stuff works, especially in government is just so slow, and it's so rooted in just status quo, really status quo. So when you're bringing in something that's new, even though exercise and nutrition and these concepts are not new, but when you're trying to apply it to government programming, then there's just pushback. It's unbelievable pushback. The way you can break down those walls or fight against that pushback is data. Really, a lot of times that's the only way you can do it, because you have a lot of people who just won't, they just won't subscribe to this. They just won't. They just, because it takes work. It's something new. It's something that's you're going to reallocate funds that used to go to programs that are established. So anytime you're changing something, again, it creates some level of work and some level of change. People don't like change. People don't like change. So when you can come in with actual data, that's typically the catalyst you need to start cutting loose some of these funds. At least it gives you something that if you've got a juvenile court judge who's going out on a limb and spending his dollars to support a program like this, he, at least when he's talking to his county commission or her county commission, they can hold up the numbers and show you some data. Well, here's why I'm doing it, because in other communities they've done it, and here's what they've been able to show in those other communities. So data is always important. So,
yeah. When COVID was happening, I spent at least an hour every day, no hyperbole, looking for a single CrossFitter who died of COVID. I looked everywhere. I checked the news constantly. I checked everywhere, and I only found one, and it was an Italian guy living in Belgium, and he was obese. Only one during the entire. It was absolutely wild. Has this happened? Do you have any stories where there's someone in Alabama who wants to start this program, and they reach out to Matt and then Andy, and then they're like, "Hey, Andy, can you call the director of Department of Public Safety for the state of Alabama and tell him how great this program is?" Do we have any cool stories like that?
Yeah. So through Director Ast, who is Andy's counterpart, she's the director of DYS.
Department of Youth Services. So basically, that's kids who are incarcerated. She's in charge of that. Okay.
Yeah. Kids are incarcerated.
What's her name again, Matt?
Amy Ast, A-S-T. Director Amy Ast.
Okay, thank you.
And Debbie can tell you what we're getting ready to do, but she's put us on a national stage. So not only has she said, "Hey, I will reach out to other states," like we're working with the state of Colorado right now at the highest level, because Director Ast had said, "Listen, this program is successful in our prison systems. Other states should use it." She has asked us to present the CrossFit message on an international on an international stage at the American Correctional Association meeting, which is in 2 weeks.
Yep.
The ACA. So if you research the ACA conference, we're going to stand with a panel of 3 or 4 others, and we'll talk about what CrossFit can do from a physical and mental perspective in front of every state in the nation, both adult and juvenile correctional individuals, and international folks are going to come to that. So because of the evidence and because of the data, Director Ast has said, "Okay, let's promote this because it works. It's successful." And we're reducing, for example, let me give you, I'll leave you with this and I'll let Debbie jump in. To incarcerate a juvenile, all right, to send one kid to prison, it's about a $300 to $400 per day cost to the county and to the state. So it's like, let's call it $386 per day to house a kid in prison, right? The adult side is that much, just a little bit more. There's 55,000 adults incarcerated in the state of Ohio alone, adult males, 55,000. So take that number and multiply it out and just see what that does to the cost to the public. So if you've got a program like this that reduces that child or that adult from going into the prison system, that's where the taxpayer money is being saved. So why not share the program?
So it's what is that? That's $22 million a day to house all the incarcerated adult
Year,
prisoners.
Yeah.
No, that's
Think
a
about
day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Right. At $400 a day with 55,000 prisoners. That's crazy.
Think about that.
Any other, what are the strongest points that you say, what you will say up there? Like that recidivism rate, that seems like crazy important. Do you have like 5 points that you're like, hey, these are when you say on the national stage that you're going to drive home?
For us?
Yeah.
No, Matt's better at the data stuff like that. I'm better at the stories. And so one of the things that for me is an example, the best way to get anybody in the door to your gym is just a personal invite. So we have to have the data for the funding. The government has to have the data to move forward to prove why we need the funding, those kinds of things. What Andy was talking about with the Unity Games was we brought in law enforcement with the youth to show the youth these are your partners. These are not your enemies. These are your partners. We wanted to change the wiring in their brain when it came to these first responders, which we did. One of the other results we found was we had first responders who were like, oh, boy, my physical fitness game isn't where it needs to be. And so we had one, I just talked to an affiliate owner this week. We were talking about the event that we're going to talk about here, the climb. And he's like, yeah, we know about it because we have a brand new 2-month into his CrossFit journey, state highway patrolman who competed with youth at that event you guys did. And the state highway patrolman, his words, he got wrecked at the event. And now he's like, okay, there's something to be said about why I need to increase my physical game, which then filters over. We know how it filters over into mental, emotional, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, you obviously see the trickle down with health. I'm guessing, and I'm obviously biased, but I think it's like the biggest lever we can pull for humanity and civilization. Do you agree with that? And if so, is that hard to convince people of that?
Yeah. So I agree with that. Absolutely. And I don't think in this day and age, I don't even think you can argue with it anymore. I just think it's so readily apparent, the benefits of health and fitness and wellness in all phases of your life, that I don't see how you argue it anymore. But let me take it a step further. I think it is so imperative in the public safety professions. Look, if you are an executive leader of a public safety agency, police, fire, EMS, paramedic, whatever that is, you cannot ignore this. You can't. The well-being of your people depends on it. And ultimately, I'm telling you, the way they interact with each other in the community will be highly influenced by how healthy they are, mentally, physically, emotionally. I mean, that'll probably be the number one indicator of how well they do in their job. So you absolutely cannot ignore it. And I'm telling you, man, I see agencies that are absolutely nailing it. Unfortunately, it's not the majority of the agencies that I deal with. It's really kind of the minority of the agencies. But Matt, let me give you an example of an agency that I visited not too long ago. They put a gym in. They got a great gym. They allow their people to work out on shift. They have a cold plunge. They have a sauna. They have red light therapy. They have folks that have donated healthy food. And on Sundays, they bring everybody in. They got a couple Blackstones. They grill up healthy food. They put them into Tupperware containers, put them in the fridge, so that when Officer Smith is working 2:00 on Tuesday morning, instead of going to the convenience store for Mountain Dew and roller dogs at 2 a.m., he's pulling out that Tupperware container and eating a healthy pre-made meal. They have incorporated defensive tactics in jiu-jitsu into their training. They are starting to incorporate the families into some of the stuff that they do. So that is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about when we're talking about proactive front end wellness that every agency should be taking a look at. And the first line leader of those agencies, the first line leader, the sergeant of that shift, you are responsible for the well-being of your troops. The guys and girls who work for you, you're responsible for their tactical and technical competence. You're responsible for the policies and procedures and making sure that they follow them. You're responsible for the way they interact. But man, you're responsible for their wellness. And you need to, every day, man, you need to be thinking about how you can make them the best version of themselves and how you can inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And it starts with you. It starts with you, man. And you better, as a leader, you better walk the walk and talk the talk. And that's just what you're responsible for doing. And I get it. There are a lot of responsibilities. There are a lot of things that you have to react to, and you only have time's a finite thing. But as a leader, you're responsible for making sure that the wellness of your people is addressed.
Let's jump to the climb
real quick. Oh, sorry, Matt. Meal prep for first responders is truly the Lord's work. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the climb. I know Andy is probably running short on time.
Yes.
So the reason, we wanted to talk about this originally, we did a few events with the State Highway Patrol, with the Academy, and worked them out. And then Andy sat down after one of those events. We did Murph with that team, and he's like, hey, how do we have a program, or how do we have an event that involves more of our first responder family? And Debbie looked at him and says, well, let's do something around 9/11 climb. Let's do something around a 9/11, right? Everyone gathers during that time frame from a first responder community. Let's do something for them. That's where the 9/11 climb started. So it's super important. I think we spend just a couple of minutes. Andy, if you want to talk about the climb and what that means to you, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. This is a great event. And again, this is part of, I sat down with Matt and Debbie, and we were looking at the patrol, and we were looking at ways that we can, again, increase morale, go shoulder to shoulder, just improve esprit de corps, all of that stuff. And I want to do it through exercise. I want to do it through competition. And then we wanted to expand what we were doing with the patrol into other agencies. So that the 9/11 climb really came about really for three reasons. Number one, we want to honor the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice on 9/11. So it's centered around that. That's the main purpose of gathering on that day. But then we also want to allow agencies to have their people go shoulder to shoulder and sweat it out. And I keep saying it, but nothing breeds camaraderie like shared suffering. So we wanted to get folks from different fields within the first responder profession together on one day where we could just sweat it out, celebrate each other, and work hard together. So that's where the 9/11 climb came about. We hold it centrally in Columbus. I would love to have 1,000 people there today or not this year on 9/11 on the field. We do it at the old Columbus Crew Stadium. It's a great little workout. It's 41 minutes and 20 seconds to honor the 412 first responders who died on that day. It's stair climb. We felt stair climbing had to be a part of it just because of the 9/11 theme. So there's stair climbing. There's some burpees, there's sit-ups and lunges, air squats. And you partner it up. And if you can't come to Columbus and Ohio to do it, what we're asking is agencies across the country really to get together as your agency, spearhead with other agencies in your county or in your jurisdiction, go to a local high school football field and do the workout there. Also, it's a great opportunity to recruit. Get the high school athletic team of the high school that you're going to come out and do it. Football team, the volleyball team, the track team, whoever. Bring these kids out and let them go shoulder to shoulder with you. Let them partner up with you as well, and use it again not only as an event to honor the first responders who died on 9/11, but man, you can recruit these folks again. We want these kids being like, hey, I want to be like those guys and gals. So it's a great event. We're super excited about it. We continue to grow it. If your agency does do it, we'd love for you to film it, video it, send it in to Matt and Debbie. Matt and Debbie, I'm sure, will put out where the stuff can be, so we can celebrate all the agencies around the state and around the country that are doing it.
It sounds like you're short on time. Can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question about what I heard recently. I didn't know this. When I was a kid, there was a presidential fitness exam. And I remember it well because they separated me from the boys. I had to do it with the girls. The girls had a different one than the boys. I couldn't do a pull up, so I had to do some of the stuff
The
the
hang.
girls had to do, which the hang was hard as shit. Fuck the boys. But then I heard recently that Trump's bringing it back because Obama had taken it out. And I hadn't looked into that. I apologize before the show. It just popped in my head now. Is that true?
That is true. I heard that is true. I heard that is true. And I think, man, I want to say within the last couple weeks, something happened where they announced that they were bringing it back. I know a lot of states are starting to do it on there. So here in Ohio, our lieutenant governor of Ohio is Jim Tressel. He used to be the coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, wow.
And he now has put together a group to establish a state physical fitness challenge for kids, because like we said, the tide's starting to change. Everybody's understanding not only is America's current health condition a national security crisis when you can't get people who can qualify for the military or law enforcement jobs because they're just not physically fit. It's a health crisis where, again, we're paying exorbitant amounts in healthcare costs because people aren't taking care of themselves on the front end. But it's also just an opportunity, again, for kids to appreciate and understand the value of physical fitness in their life and the value of competition. So I think you're starting to see a lot of states start to do this kind of stuff on their own. And I'm telling you, I thought I saw something just within the last couple of weeks where they had signed something bringing back the president's physical fitness test.
It's wild. I would love to hear the rationale of why they ever got rid of it. Who is the person you mentioned who was a coach with the Buckeyes?
Jim Tressel. He's our lieutenant governor in the state.
And what did he coach? What sport?
The Ohio State football team. Ohio State University football team.
I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. But Katie Henniger, who's was a small business owner and now a giant business owner in your state of Ohio. I think she's in the Hall of Fame for basketball.
She is.
Yep.
She is.
She's a Buckeye, good Buckeye, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you friends with the Hennigers?
I think I don't know them.
You gotta know. You gotta get to know them, Andy.
Yeah, I would love to.
We got to make that introduction. They are great people.
Yeah, I know that they open. We've been able to do some work with them with the cadets from time to time on some of our events that we've done. So they've been very gracious to us, but I just haven't had. They're incredibly busy. I just haven't had the opportunity to sit down and meet with them. I would love to. I would love to meet with them and see what we could do with respect to first responders and wellness in the state.
And also, this is way off topic, but it sounds like Columbus is about to get another big boom. Palmer Luckey is building a huge facility there. Are you guys pretty excited about that? That's going to be like 20,000 jobs there, right? In Columbus, do you know about his company, Anderl?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So the governor.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Hey, we're booming. Ohio's kind of booming right now, with all of the job development the governor and lieutenant governor have done over the past couple of years, to the point where actually we're having workforce issues. We got to find people to work all of these jobs. So that's a big part of what we're doing here in Ohio. And the lieutenant governor is very busy in that space, just making sure that we have the workforce to come in and do these jobs that they're bringing to the state.
Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else? I know we could talk for hours, and I'd love to have you on again. I see that someone's actually trying to pull you off.
They are. They're trying to give me the hook here. So listen, Savan, I appreciate the opportunity to come and meet you, talk to your audience. This is such an important topic, especially in the first responder space. And I could talk all day. One of the things I would hope to get into that I wasn't able to get into is the concept of really integrating functional medicine concepts into first responder health. So I'm fortunate. My wife she's an MD and she's a functional medicine doctor, and I see what she does with her patients and the things that she tests her patients for, the work that she does with respect to adrenal health and gut health and toxicity and mitochondrial function and all of those things that you never are going to get at your conventional medicine practitioner. And a lot of that stuff it deals with inflammation. It deals with the chronic effects of stress and the negative effects that those have on your body. And I think, man, I think that in the first responder community, that is a community that would benefit so much from that type of medicine. And unfortunately, our insurance-based system just sets them up with conventional medicine. You go to your primary care doc. You're a cop who's been on the beat for X number of years. You're a firefighter who's been working for a number of years, exposed to all kinds of terrible toxins. You just don't feel good. You're tired. You're putting on weight. You're snoring. You got acid reflux, you got all of these issues, and you go to your regular doc and they run the standard panel of insurance-based tests, and they come back and they say, hey, look, you're okay. You're fine. Everything's within range. Well, if the range is 200 to 1,000 and you're sitting at 250, yeah, you're in range, but you're certainly not at optimal health. And I think that there's a lot of things. Again, I would love to come back and talk sometime just about this. I think there's a lot
Bring
of
your
things
wife. Bring your wife.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things we should be doing in our first responder space that are outside conventional medicine, conventional health, that will help them, again, not only off gas the stress that they deal with day to day, but ultimately come out the backside of the profession better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Matt and Debbie, are you going to stay on?
Yeah,
I
just
would
for a
love it
couple
if
of
you did.
couple of minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Andy,
I
you the
appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you. Hey,
Hey.
we're so lucky to have a public servant like you. Thank you for doing what you do. I hope you run for governor, president of the United States someday. Keep going.
Hey.
You're very young still, so keep charging, dude.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Andy Wilson, director of the Department of Public Safety. Wow, what a job. 4,000 employees, billions of dollars at his disposal, and friends with the Matt and Debbie. That's cool.
We're fortunate to be friends with him. I would just end with the climb. There's a couple of things that his department is doing. Obviously, one of the biggest ones is the climb. The state of Ohio sent, believe it or not, the state of Ohio sent every CrossFit affiliate in the state of Ohio an email inviting them to participate in the climb and inviting them to go into their local fire chief, local police department, and invite them into the affiliate. So that's, from a state perspective, to email a private company or a privately owned business like CrossFit, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Like they would get sued for that or something.
Yeah. So they emailed, Debbie gave them the email addresses, and
before people start blowing up the chat,
yeah,
they may not all be the latest. So if you're a new affiliate,
yeah,
you may not, I may not have found everybody. So
That's
I'm
right.
human. I'm going to apologize right now, but
we did the
sent it
best
to
we could.
170.
Yeah. And we did that all on our own. So we tried to find as many as we could.
And people can reach out to you to update their email. And hey, even if you're out of state and you want to be on their email list, just reach out to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be crazy not to.
That's right. The state also sent that same flyer out to all of their internal department heads. So the email's there, from a gym or an affiliate, as affiliate owners for now 15 years like us. What we wanted to do is to be able to have the affiliates have the opportunity to walk into their fire department or police station with an agenda. Like, the state of Ohio has opened the doors for you. Go talk to them, like invite them in, give them a free day to come and do the climb or do it at their facility. I know Sousa and I and Debbie and the state of Ohio partnered to do the climb with all of Sousa's individuals. So the fire department and the academies that Matt
in
works
California,
they are also doing it. So part of the state of California is partnering with us, thanks to Sousa. And then kind of on top of that, what Matt Sousa has developed in the academy and out there, the state of Ohio is looking at a pilot here in this state that says, how can we take kind of what Matt has developed, create it for Ohio and send that out to every department, and then maybe fund that down the road with how can we get our firemen and women and police officers back in shape? How can we invite them into a CrossFit gym? So we're working on that with the state. Hopefully in late 2025, early 2026, we'll be able to start to work with more affiliates and bring first responders into their box. So we're doing what we can.
Yeah, Sousa's program is pretty incredible too. He's been working with huge fire departments and academies here in the state of California, and he has programs
Yep.
for recruits and also existing firefighters. And what was crazy, I remember, because we all know that it's all politics and who you know. When they changed the guard, Sousa was like, "Well, that's gone." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, everything's the buddy system." And then the new guard came in and contacted him, and they're like, "No, dude, we're keeping this program. It's so valuable." And I know he's really excited with you guys helping facilitate bringing that program to Ohio. That's really cool.
Yeah, he flew out and spent some time with individuals that worked for Andy and kind of explained the nuts and bolts of the program, and we're trying to adapt that to move forward.
How's it going with the kids program? So when I first had you on a couple years ago, you had this kids program. It worked. You started with one kid, and then you got the judge to buy in, and you guys were doing it at CrossFit Crave. And then I know it spread to some other gyms. And it, not only that, but you actually infiltrated inside of the detention centers to do the program. Have any affiliates that you didn't know been able to use you as a resource to start a program like you guys have?
Yeah. So in the chat earlier, Matt Burns put something in. He's from Florida. He came up a while ago for our trauma training and was able to start it down there. So we have some, obviously, because of the connections with Director Ast, it's growing by leaps and bounds in Ohio. It's growing by steps in other states. Yeah. But we have several gyms and several things in the work in other states as well, especially as Matt said earlier, with us going out to Colorado in a couple weeks to speak from that national platform. It's really going to open up the doors, and they are bringing it the day after we speak. They are taking us into an affiliate or a juvenile correctional facility to kind of show the directors what it looks like in action, because there's all of the things like Andy was talking about, the fear. They live in that state of fear because as an administrator, you're constantly bombarded by the you can't do that because we've never done that. You can't do that because of workman's comp. You can't do that because of funding. The second you see it, the second you experience a CrossFit class, it changes everything.
Yeah. So here's the cool thing about this word of mouth. And, Director Wilson's right. It really takes, at the start, it's kind of who you know. And then once they get the data, then they can take it from there. If you look up a gentleman by the name of Jordan Garza, he works for Homeland Security. The Unity Games in part was something that we kind of co-developed with Homeland Security. So the Unity Games, where we brought all of the partners together, we brought it to Director Ast, and we said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could bring in law enforcement into the prison to work out alongside these kids? And she's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Jordan Garza, this gentleman here, came to us at the same time and said, hey, Homeland Security has looked at, out of DC, has looked at what your CrossFit program has done in the lives of these youth and the correction officers. We want to see if, from a government perspective, we can help take that program and develop it across the nation. Programs like ours, most of the time, work really well inside of their own little neighborhood. Like there's a lot of great programs that work in their community that they're in. The difference between that and what CrossFit offers, and it's not our program, it's what CrossFit does, is you can drop that into any CrossFit box across the nation or across the world that has the heart for it. So, Jordan Garza was like, we can multiply what you're doing across the U.S. Let's help you do that. So he then just took a position under. So the Unity Games we talked about, that had to be approved by Director Noem, by Secretary Noem.
Oh,
Christy Noem.
Wow.
So we had DEA, FBI, Homeland Security, and then all of the state individuals in that prison. That had to get approved by Secretary Noem. So through this process, Jordan's like, hey, I want to get you in front of Secretary Noem so we can start the process of getting you guys help with federal funding that can take programs that will go across the U.S. And then a week later, he gets promoted and pulled back into D.C. and working directly now under Secretary Noem. So a lot of it is the data, and a lot of it is, unfortunately, it's who you know and at the right place at the right time, and move forward. But the other side of that is affiliates. They need to, just go out and try and bang on doors and talk to first responders and pull them in, and use the climb to do it if you can.
Right. So literally you're saying, hey, print out that page
Yes.
that Caleb showed, walk into your local police department or fire department and be like, hey, if you guys want to do this, we'll host it at our gym. We don't have stairs, but we have boxes we can do the step ups on, and we'd love to host you guys. It's free. We're going to provide hamburgers. They can bring their kids and their wives and whatever and come join us. That easy.
Right.
Yeah, it's that easy.
Now, and we do know that 9/11 is during the week. So we've toyed through the years of, do we move it to a weekend or anything like that? It's going to stay on 9/11. That way, every year we know it's when it's going to be. It's an opportunity not just for affiliate owners to print and carry, do a little bit of legwork there, go in and shake a hand, and then do the same thing into your school system. Like Andy was saying, go to your coaches, go to your athletic department, go to your kid's elementary teacher.
Yeah.
Any kid that's in school right now, 9/11 is a history lesson. They were not alive during this time. So for them to understand the magnitude of what happened, and still to this day, so many of us, our favorite days in history were 9/12 and 9/13 when the country began to come together.
That's right.
And we can revisit that.
Yeah.
So the registration link right now, you'll see it's open. The whole event is free to participate in. If you want to come to Columbus, that would be amazing.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of the workout and you're like, why is this so difficult? Thank Rich Froning. So we call when Debbie's like, hey, let's do the 9/11 event. Let's do it around that. We're like, okay, we got to come up with a workout. So we got a hold of Rich, and we're like, hey, we got this thing. We're going to do it with the public safety department in the state of Ohio. We need a really good workout. And he's like, give me 15 minutes. And then he sent that workout back.
Wow.
So if you're in the middle of this and you're like, this sucks, you can thank Rich.
But like Andy said, he's given us a goal of 1,000 people in person in Columbus. So anybody who wants to drive or fly to Columbus that day, that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
And it's Thursday, September 11th.
That's right. Yep.
Right.
And what time does it start?
9 a.m.
9
9
a.m.
a.m. Okay.
Yeah, CrossFit Port Clinton has done a bang up job, as you see in their note. Man, they went to their high school and said, hey, let's do this at the high school stadium, which is huge. That's from an affiliate owner's perspective. That's what we need to do. No one's ever going to get mad if you try.
As an affiliate owner, when you win, I win. It doesn't matter if you're at my affiliate or not. When you win, I win. And so why don't we use opportunities like this to our advantage? It's free. The only thing that they're asking is that you register no matter where you participate, that you register on the link, and that when you post anything, use the hashtag ODPS climb. And that's at the top of the flyer. Just for that PR sake, why not have a gym in Nebraska be featured on the Ohio Department of Public Safety page? Like, how cool would that be to show, again, the country coming together?
Yeah.
CrossFit Port Clinton, we're hosting a local high school stadium and trying to get students and teachers involved. Highway Patrol is coming for a recruiting event. Is this Dale's gym?
No.
This
is Lexi and Brett Bauer.
Yeah, Lexi and Brett Bauer. They're great.
He's Port something.
He is Portsmouth.
Oh, Portsmouth. Oh, it's all the ports.
Yeah, opposite end of the state.
September 11th. If you can show up, it's what I wrote the name down here. Historic. What's the name of the gym? The stadium. Historic
Crew Stadium.
Historic,
Stadium.
And that's in Columbus.
Yep.
Yeah, right downtown.
How far are you from Columbus?
Hour and 45.
Okay, and Andy's hoping for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be.
I told you he's passionate, man. When he starts to talk,
he's great.
Just stop.
Yeah, he's great. He's pumped. It's cool that his wife is an MD who CrossFits. Once again, obviously she's a unique doctor. If she's doing that, she understands that, like, hey, you can take control of your own health. The fact that he talked about gut health makes me know he knows.
Yeah, she was a part of CrossFit Long Road. And they were in the chat. Long Road CrossFit, and in Urbana, Ohio. And she was the first CrossFitter. So she went to the gym and then drug Andy in. And then, he had to take one class and he was hooked. And the group at CrossFit, CrossFit Long Road, they're phenomenal. Good group.
How many juvenile facilities are you working with now in the state of Ohio?
We're in 4. 3. There's only 3 long term. So the unity
In the whole
game,
state, there's only 3 long term,
and that's
Okay.
2.5-year minimum sentence.
Okay. Are you in all of those?
We're in all of those.
Wow,
Yeah.
congrats. Okay.
68% of those there are incarcerated for murder. I mean, basically some kind of homicide. So Andy was right. That picture that you saw, the unity game, 70% of those kids sitting in those chairs are there for homicide. So they're there for a long while. And then the state has 11 what they call community centers or juvenile community centers, which are on the average about a year's stay. So the offense is much less. We have one facility started in Bowling Green, Ohio. So the state has said, hey, we've got 11 of these other smaller facilities. We want programs inside of those because of the success and the larger ones. So we started that in the beginning of the year. So that's number 4. And then we go into 2 more that will be starting here very, very soon in the next couple of months. So, from Director Ask's perspective, they see this as, hey, CrossFit has got something that we've never had inside of a facility. It's bringing, here's the thing. They can take, and we've talked about this before, they can take gang members from opposite gangs. Doesn't matter if you're white, Hispanic, or Black, throw them in a same room and put barbells in their hands, and they're not trying to kill each other. And that's unheard of in the system. That's never been done. They always have to segregate those groups. And they found this thing called CrossFit that they can throw them in the same class and have no incidents. So they're like, let's go. How quickly can we grow?
You guys must be pretty pumped about this national audience you're getting.
Yeah, pumped and scary all together.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
We're used to coaching 5 a.m. class, and here we're going to sit in front of, 2,000 or 3,000 people and talk CrossFit in its advantages. And
are you going to DC? Are you going to DC to do that?
We're going to it's in Denver, Colorado. Yeah. It's the ACA, American Corrections Association. It's their annual conference.
And who invited you again there?
Director asked.
Yeah.
Amy
Okay.
asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, she told the people, whoever's throwing the event, hey, you got to have these. This is a really successful program we have. She vouched for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. She was. Yeah.
So a little bit of backstory with that. There's the juvenile conference and the adult conference going on at the same time. And her original goal was for us to speak at the juvenile conference. And we began to dive into it, and she pulled us aside the next time she saw us, and she said, hey, are you guys going? And we said, no, the numbers, it just didn't pan out, because to speak at certain events, you have to make a sizable donation. And we just want to pay our light bill, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, hang on, don't clear those dates, keep those dates safe on your calendar. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
And so pretty soon she called, and she's like, hey, by the way, you're not going to the juvenile, you're coming to the adult, and here's what's going on.
Adult and juvenile. So she said, hey, hang on, hold my beer. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Hey, what's as great as that story is, that one kind of hurts too. You ever get the email or the letter in the mail that says, you've been nominated as the top 30 best professional and you're blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you open it up and you have to pay $3,000 to be in the top 30. You're like,
that was kind of this.
Yeah, that sucks.
We're on a conference call with the director of this juvenile conference. And he's like, yeah, it's great, man. We can line you all up. We got you all set. You can go on to the website and look at the donation page, and that's where you pay to play, so to speak. And we're like,
yeah,
the donation page. He's like, yeah, for you to be able to speak, it's $25,000. And we're like, no, thank you. Like, we're a shoestring budget. That's a no.
I I remember in the early days at CrossFit, there was some magazine, like Outside Magazine. I don't remember which magazine, but they had like best employment brands. And that was
Mhm.
another thing. And I remember thinking, and they were listing off all the companies that were the best employment brands. And I'm thinking, and I know that they paid to be on that list. I'm like, there's no way that those people have a better job than we have at 2016 working at CrossFit HQ. It was like, there's no,
That's right.
there's
Yeah.
no way. Everything
Hey,
else
man.
good? Everything else
Yeah,
moving in the right direction for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
thank you for always staying in touch. I love being kept up to speed on this stuff. The Christy Gnome stuff is exciting. That dude, Andy Wilson's a beast.
It's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah. If you can have him on again, you should. And get his
Yeah.
wife on. She can talk just as much as he can.
And thank you for keeping me in the loop. You know, juggling the like shoestring budget. You know, it's just Susan and I trying to manage all the different people. So, and you're like I've told you before, you're never bugging me. Always hit me up, send me stuff. You're always welcome on the show. I know that people love the updates.
Cool. Thanks, man.
All right.
See you guys.
later. Bye, Debbie. Good luck. Hey, maybe even after you guys go on the national stage, you can come back. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. Would love to.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Ciao.
See ya.
See you.
CrossFit Crave, Schindel Decker and Debbie Wagner.
They're so nice.
They are nice. Hey, but you know they have to be fierce too. They must be fierce also.
You think so?
Yeah, to get the shit done that they're getting done. Especially Debbie.
Yeah.
I bet you Debbie's got can be fierce.
I just imagine there's like there are people that you meet who are just really nice all the time.
Yeah.
And they can just like people just want to do things because they're so like nice, so easy to be around. They're like,
I want them
we
to.
wanna help
I want them to be filthy rich.
you. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? I want them to get filthy rich from doing this. I don't want that
Probably help
money.
a
I don't
lot.
want that money going to fucking macaroni and cheese manufacturer who's feeding the kids in the youth services. I want it to go to them. Huh. Patty was not talking about you. Sorry.
Definitely not.
You're Pat, you're nice in real life.
I couldn't agree with that. I've never met him in real life.
Neither have I. I was just trying to throw him a bone.
Oh, okay.
Glintons were on last night with Dents. Big show. Crazy views.
Really?
Yeah, big show. Already I saw this morning had 3,000 views. Crazy.
Was it on here or on their own channel?
It was here.
I watched that Will Leahy Hiller video. The interview that he did.
Oh yeah, how was it?
He seems sad.
Oh, Andrew or Will Leahy?
Will Leahy. He just seemed like kind of dejected. Felt bad for him a little bit.
I'm looking at I think maybe he's just not super chill.
No, I think it was after the event, right? Like I think he was just disappointed in himself. And he like just was still trying to get over it. So he was not super chatty.
What is I'm looking at, I don't even understand this sheet with all these numbers on it.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at this sheet.
Oh, that sheet.
Yeah, I don't.
You just got to zoom in really, really close, and then you can figure it out. I don't know how somebody puts that together. Like, how do you have the patience to look at that many numbers and be like, yeah, I've compiled every number possible for everything, and this makes sense.
Where am I looking? Damn, how come I can't? I'm fixating on this.
On the chart?
No, what I sent you in the private chat. I'm fixating on that, but I want to let it go. I need to get past it because it's just stupid. I don't want to address it. I don't want to
Look at.
I don't want to. I might as well just hold up a
sign.
sign. I might as well just hold up a sign that says I'm insecure. But I really just want to fucking. That makes me feel better. You should have. Look what I wrote. Look what I wrote back to you. Hey guys, I was just talking shit about someone, and Caleb goes, "That's me."
Oh shit!
That's great. Good. I feel that makes me feel better.
I was trying to be sarcastic about it.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Fuck, you fucked me up. You fucked me up.
It was funny to see.
Hey, you
that,
put a
though.
rubber snake under my pillow, and I fucking ran. I ran to the neighbor's house. You put a rubber snake under my. You know when you do that when you're a little kid, you put like a fake spider in someone's
little
bed.
cockroach on.
That's what you did. You fucked me up. Yeah, you fucked me up. All right.
Oh man.
Damn.
I felt just as bad about that. I was like, damn, that sucks. That's really bad.
I want to just like I just wanted to go to war. I'm glad I was chill.
Oh, that's funny.
Someone just texted me. Who's that retard McCaskey? He has a special kind of autism that hasn't been discovered yet. Wow.
Oh yeah, we were going at it in the chat during the show.
He sent me a nice text yesterday.
Did he? He's probably
what's with the clean cut look? I don't know. Hey, do we have you on the calendar, Joe? I was like, I caught myself like pretending to interview. Yesterday, I was at night. I was like thinking about our show together. The text is from your mom, Mike. The text is from your mom. No, you all flaky as fuck. Yeah.
That tracks.
Small team. I'm gonna send a text now. I know. Hey, listen, you're not the only person. So many people have fallen through the cracks. The games are crazy.
Yeah, shit gets weird around that time.
You know who we have on the hook is Forrest Mawready. It's an author. They wrote The Moth and the Iron Lung. They just came out with 2 new books, or he just came out with 2 new books.
Okay.
I'll pull up his. I've been emailing him. I think we let him fall through the cracks too. We got to get him on. The Moth and the Iron Lung, German, the Dairy Pale, Unvaccinated, Crooked Man-Made Disease, Red Pill, Gospel Christianity. The Reason We Kiss. What I don't even know what this word means. Protarian. What's a Protarian denomination? I don't even know what that is.
I've never heard of that. Protarianism. Protarian.
We got to get Mawready on too.
Oh.
Tia and Shane. Yeah, we got. I'd like to at least get Tia or Shane.
How are you? The word is in the definition, so it doesn't really help.
Oh. I get it. Games are way more a priority than me. I'm barely interested. The tits help. Yeah, tits always help. What it is also is that my interest changes from like day to day, minute to minute. If you would have asked me before the games, would I be scrambling to get games athletes on? I would be like, hell no. I would have told you I'm going to be completely sick of the games. And instead, I'm more interested than ever. So Sousa has to deal with that all of a sudden. I've scheduled 3 people on the same day. Poor Lydia Fish, we've had to move her 3 times. So it's mostly just it's mostly me just fucking around and like my interests changing. And Lydia's coming on tomorrow. Jay Crouch is going to be good. I got to get Ricky, Nick Johnson. Man, it's a good week. Phil Taylor's $2,500 on Saturday. That's crazy.
Holy shit. That's the biggest it's been in a long time.
Are you going to cover the age group games? When is that?
I have no idea. Which age group? Aren't they all in different places, or is masters and teens in the same spot?
When is that with the date? I need to get, you know who I want to get on? Which games athletes are competing? I heard Graham Holmberg is competing. Masters. I'd love to have Graham on.
August 21st to the 24th.
A week and a half.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I'll send Graham a text right now. That'd be cool to see what he's up to. I haven't talked to him in forever.
Yeah, I forgot he existed.
Get Rudy Berger on. Rudy Berger.
Russell Berger? Rudy Berger?
The last time Russell, I would love to have Russell on all the time. The last time I had, Jamie Latimer is competing at the games. I get Cale Lehman on. The last time I had Russell on, he seemed, I got a little nervous because he seemed annoyed by me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, we talk about the same shit every time. I was like, oh, Rudy Berger, 2-time champ. Rudy, let me see this Rudy Hamburger, dude.
Gotcha. Right here.
Let me see this Rudy dude. Oh, what's his age group? He looks young.
40 to 45, maybe? No, he doesn't say. He just said.
What a fucking body transformation he went through.
Yeah, looks like 40.
Oh, his wife looks so familiar. Is she a doctor? Who's his wife? His wife looks so familiar. Is she in the, did he tag her?
No, I didn't see. Let me see if I can go back and find them.
God, she looks. I wonder if she's been around forever. Whatever happened with Kale, I think he's just hanging low. I think that's his daughter.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Lynette Berger. I don't recognize her name. Yeah, I for sure know her from somewhere. Let me see. Click her. All the people I usually don't recognize, they end up being physicians. Yeah, maybe she worked for CrossFit. Damn, she looks familiar. She's been in Holler videos, some camp in New Orleans. I saw Liver King was down by my house the other day. He was down at damn, she looks just like her daughter. He was in Santa Cruz surfing.
Liver King can surf. Is that one of the ancestral tenets?
I guess he's never surfed before. He's only surfed behind a boat. He'd never surfed in the ocean. So he came to Santa Cruz and he was surfing in the ocean. And I recognized the guy he was surfing with too. I don't know where I recognize him from. I don't know if I hit tan or something. I don't know if I recognize him just from the scene here in Santa Cruz because it's a small town and I see everybody.
Jesus Christ.
This let me see if does he tag that dude? Not her, that's his wife. That dude looks so familiar. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, click that dude, Tanner. Wait, let me see. Oh, yes. I've tried to get this guy on the show. This guy, I think, surfed this guy. Oh, I tried to get that guy on the show. That's why I recognize him. I think he surfed Mavericks like on the biggest day ever or something. What's the CF news today that's supposed to drop? I'm assuming it's something I'm not going to like. I'm assuming it has something to do with the campaign or something. Like, that's the thing. Why would you campaigns are so 1965. It's like the Jetsons shit. Why wouldn't you just do, like, you have stories like Matt Schindledecker shit all over the place. Why aren't you just doing those stories just constantly? The campaign is so fucking, campaigns are so stupid. The opening line with a campaign is, "This isn't sincere." Okay, you want to come? Come. I'm going to show you guys something. So my son, oh no, not that. My son Ari is doing, he trains so hard anyway. It's kind of a joke. How the fuck do I get to the 3 Playing Brothers account? My son Ari trains so hard anyway, so it's kind of weird to even like say that this is some sort of standout thing. But last night it was 8:30 at night. Sundays are usually just a pretty chill day for us. Maybe just some skateboarding or walking or running stairs. Or Sundays is the only day that they don't have like any official training. But he is he told me he wants to get a switch, and he said, "Hey, I'll work out 100 days in a row, no matter what, doing CrossFit. If you get me a switch." I'm like, "Sure, no problem." What's crazy though is because I don't even let them play. They're not even allowed to play the Switch unless we go on road trips or unless there's their cousins come over. So he's gonna get this thing and then he's not even gonna get to use it. I don't understand. I don't understand you kids. You will? They can't hear you talking to the mic. Anyway, so this is at 8:30 last night. I just bought the boys a new ping pong table, so they've been playing a lot of ping pong. It was 8:30 at night. I'd built a fire outside and put up some spotlights. And I walk out there and he's with the other kids, and it's like 4 boys who are like in their like 16 to 20, and then my 3 sons, and they're having a ping pong tournament. Right?
Yeah.
You want to put your headphones on?
Mhm.
And so then I said, "Hey, dude, we should probably do your workout. It'll be really quick." And so this is the workout he did. We'll play a little bit of it. In 2 weeks, Ari has a jiu-jitsu tournament. This is a little nighttime training. 8:30 p.m. Just get a little conditioning in. This will be 3 different segments. He asked me afterwards, "Can you do that workout?" I'm like, "No. I cannot do this workout. I cannot." He doesn't know what he's going to do yet. He has a 4-pound vest on. He doesn't even know what he's going to do. You're going to do 50 burpees as fast as you can.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Ready, set. Wait. Sorry. Look, it's just like when callers call in. I'm like, ready? Oh, no, wait. 2 minutes or less. Wait a minute. Okay? He has a jiu-jitsu tournament in 2 weeks. Ready? So you can forward through some of this. So he does 50 burpees. 47, 48, 49, 50. Good job. Just cold, 4-pound vest. 50 burpees fast as he can with the 4-pound vest. I think he did it in just a little over 2 minutes. Then I give him this Rogue bar. It weighs 5 pounds. He has 50 seconds to rest. And you can fast forward, and I have him do 50 overhead squats.
Wow.
And
Fuck.
go up to like hit the sound on this. There's something pretty funny that happens here. 12. Maybe you can skip a little ahead. 8. There we go. Oh wait, go back a little bit. Go back a little 21, bit. 22. 23.
Ouch.
That'll teach you.
24.
Ouch.
Lower the bar under your chin. Lower the bar under your chin. Front rack. Let's go. Knock him out fast. Let's go. So now I know. So I have him do another 15 like this, and then at 40, I have him go back overhead again. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Nope. And at the end, watch this kid's attitude at the end. 44, 48. Okay, listen to this. You're almost done with the workout.
What do you mean?
You're almost done.
Am I only doing 4 rounds?
You just have one more round. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. You're almost done.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Look how excited he is. Now he's saying thank you. Can you imagine the beatdowns I must give him if he's saying thank you? Can you fucking imagine the beatdowns this kid gets?
He's like, wow, this is amazing. This isn't even that bad.
Okay, keep playing. Wait, he doesn't know what he's gonna do in the last round. Check this out.
Oh, it was miserable.
Another 50 seconds rest. This is where we're training not to have a war. We're training to win, to kill. If you can do this, you're unbeatable. Okay? You have 10 seconds and you're going to do 50 burpees as fast as you can. No weight vest.
Okay.
Okay? You want the pad or no pad?
Goodbye. I'm glad you put there anyway.
1, 2. And he knocks these 50. 3. Find your pace. Knocks these 50 out 14 seconds faster than the first 50. I think he does it in a minute and 50.
Oh my God.
Teresa, I think you push them too hard. Let them be little sometimes.
No, please, no. No way.
It's fine. Hey, man, I get what's crazy is so he does 50 burpees, 50-second rest, 50 overhead squats, 50-second rest, and 50 burpees. And the point is, Teresa, and I hear you, Teresa. The thing is like he's gonna go fight, and he's gonna fight against killers, kids who are killers. Where they fight is it's not playtime. It's like serious. Like the kids are trying to break your arm and shit, and dislocate your shoulder, and it's wild. Although you have to put a lot of trust in the referees are not great. If you think the judging's bad anywhere in CrossFit, you should take your kids to a jiu-jitsu tournament. The judging is wild. And so I have to take him there to be able, like it could conceivably happen that he has a 3-minute match and wins it or loses it, and he only gets a minute or 2 rest. Like the bracket might be all fucked up, or there might not be enough kids there, and they'll say to your kid, is your kid ready? And you're not near your kid, and so if your kid nods, he has to be ready. And so I just put that together. So and sometimes you have to fight cold. So I just pulled him from playing ping pong, make him do the first 50 cold with the 4-pound vest. And then overhead squats was to just cool down and just for mental toughness. It's only a 5-pound bar. I know he's not going to injure himself. And then you got to go another 50 burpees. You got to fight again. And he's, I can't tell you, he's high as a kite then afterwards. He's stoked. And you could see he can't believe how short the workout is. He can't believe he's done. So,
the reffing is so bad over there that if you want to win,
yeah,
you have to be at least you have to smash them.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there's good refs over there, But
One time the rest was so bad, I hurt a kid's shoulder or arm.
You hurt a kid's. Yeah, I saw you hurt a kid's arm. I also saw a kid hurt your arm before too.
Check
That was
this
only
out.
once though.
The historic deal with Paramount and CBS is incredible for UFC fans and our athletes. For the first time ever, fans in the U.S. will have access to all UFC content without a pay-per-view model, making it more affordable and accessible to view the greatest fights on a massive platform. This deal puts UFC amongst the biggest sports in the world. The exposure provided by Paramount and CBS networks under this new structure is a huge win for our athletes and anyone who watches and loves the sport. Wow. So they spent
Whoa.
$1.5 billion on South Park, and now they probably spent a couple $2 billion on Paramount spent a couple $2 billion on UFC. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
I don't know. Is that good or bad, you think?
I don't know, but to be honest with you, with that South Park deal, Paramount must be just going all in. Is that where what's his name was?
That's
Colbert
where like
was Colbert on CBS?
yes.
So they whacked him, and they got the stupidest cartoon in the world. And dudes, gay porn. That's cool.
Is that what you're calling the UFC?
Yeah.
With some women sprinkled in there every once in a while.
I was overdoing the academic thing with my daughter, and it added so much stress. So here's the crazy thing. And I totally hear you, because I see kids all around, because my kids are so in all their disciplines, they're at the peak of their disciplines. I see all these other kids stressed out. And just imagine Avi's 10 years old, and he's been playing tennis for 6 years, minimum 3 days a week. And he's got his hips bugging him a little bit right now, and one of his abductors from skating. And he's so disappointed he can't play tennis. If my kids are like, hey, I don't want to go do something, like 99% of the time, I say, yeah, you don't have to do it, because it's like 1 in every 100 training days they don't want to do something. I never have to push them. It's crazy. I hear about other kids throwing if it's 3:00 and they have jiu-jitsu at 3:30, and I'm fucking around in the garage working out, they come in there and they're like, hey, dude, we got to leave. I don't have to drag them anywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't have all the stories the other parents tell. I don't have any of those. I need to write a book.
I was in bed last night, and
I don't want you sleeping in bed anymore. You're supposed to sleep on the concrete. But go on.
all of a sudden my hip hurt so bad. I moved my leg, and it was like, and I couldn't move it.
How was it this morning?
Better.
Any pain this morning?
No.
Oh, that's good. And so because he hadn't skateboarded in 6 months because he had a broken toe, and then he started skating again, and he was skating every day, and he was counting how many days he did, and he was like at day 37, and he said something's wrong with my hip. So he pivoted. He just stopped skating, and he felt really bad. He thought I was going to be mad because he didn't make his 100 days. I'm like, no, dude. All I want you to do is be healthy. That's all I give a shit about. Yeah, that is probably true. Haley, does mom say that to you? Go get your dad. You need to leave.
What?
Like when I'm not ready, when I'm in the garage, like working out or fooling around. Does mom ever tell you that? Yeah, she does.
Wait, what?
But sometimes I'll just go in there and tell you.
Yeah. No, it wasn't turf toe. How did you first time you break your toe? He broke his toe, and then he basically, the ligament attached to the outside of his big bone tore the bone off his foot. I forget what happened. He
Yeah, I was jumping. We were like,
oh yes,
I was
he
with
was
the
at the beach.
Glassmans, and
Yeah.
we were like doing a jumping contest.
Yeah.
And he jumped
And
and,
I-
he
and he
landed on a
jumped.
rock.
I landed on a rock, and
Yeah.
my toe like hit it bad, and I was like,
Do
and
you have a
then
bunion now?
after that, like the pain went away, and then I started running. No idea it was broken, and then I went back into the restaurant, and
Hurting?
I was limping. I
he-
couldn't walk.
He was at the beach. Now I remember. He was at the beach, and they were jumping, and he jumped from a pretty high spot onto the sand, and there was a rock buried in the sand that he didn't see.
Ooh.
I didn't jump from high.
Don't ruin my story,
He
buddy.
jumped for like 3 feet.
Don't ever correct my stories publicly.
I don't need. I want to.
And then what's crazy is then right as it was healing at about the 3-month mark, he opened a 12-foot tall steel door. And
Oh yeah.
and his toe got stuck underneath the corner of it, and it
Arizona?
ripped off a chunk of flesh right where the broken bone and the torn ligament was. It was
Arizona.
yeah, and he went into shock. It was crazy. That was at
God,
Greg's house.
Were we leaving?
Yeah, we were
but
leaving that
it
night.
was a
like 9
big
a.m.
door.
I mean,
that
9
door
p.m.
like could stop bullets. It's like
It's a big steel
Probably
door.
not,
Yeah,
but okay.
it's a big steel door. Yeah, it was nuts.
Probably 1 or 2 bullets.
And
Your piano got really good in those 6 months.
yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I jumped from 3 feet.
2.5.
Oh, well, thanks for the correction. Vital to the story.
I think I jumped from flat ground,
Uh-huh.
and I think I like jumped as far as I can, and there was a rock buried under the sand, and my toe clipped it.
I can't believe I got part of the story right.
I'm surprised too.
I thought you jumped.
Asshole.
I thought you jumped from like 2 or 3 feet,
Asshole.
No,
and then you like, oh,
no.
I thought he jumped from the skyscraper.
Listen, his toe hit a rock. Josh wants to put our son in wrestling. I think jiu-jitsu would be fun, but don't really know the difference. Hope you and Libby are doing well. Yeah, my boys do tons of wrestling. In the program they're in, they do tons and tons of wrestling.
The difference between wrestling and jiu-jitsu,
it's not really.
there's wrestling and jiu-jitsu, but
You can like,
there's no like collar grabbing and all these techniques. But yeah, it's adding wrestling to
How about when you do nogi?
yeah, there's wrestling. There's no grabbing grips.
yeah, nogi is basically just wrestling. So if you know how to wrestle, it's good for nogi.
Yeah, but if you just know how to wrestle,
It's not.
I'm
good.
not sure like if when you do wrestling, I'm not sure if you do like techniques and stuff. I'm not sure if you just like stand on your feet
You
and take
do?
them down.
You do like takedown technique.
No, I'm talking about like from the back.
Oh no, they do not do that. I don't think so.
How's your teaching coming? I know you guys are now teaching a class in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How's that going? You guys good teachers?
I think.
Yeah.
How many days a week are you teaching?
Sometimes 1, sometimes 2.
You can't yawn on the air because then the listeners will get tired too.
2.
Did you know that?
Really?
No.
Yeah, you're signaling the listeners. You're setting the mood.
Yeah, I
Really?
just got tired when you did that. Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
I'm actually bored of your story.
I
now.
just woke up.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah, we just woke up.
I
everyone
woke
did.
up at 8:43. When
Wow, you slept in. What are you doing?
Yeah, why did you sleep in so late?
I went to get up to get my clothes on, and then I went back to bed. And Mom's like, "Breakfast is ready." I'm like, "Kidding."
Don't you guys have striking right now?
Wait,
Yeah.
that's why I came in here with you.
Oh, you guys are supposed to be doing. What is this? Is Joe doing striking?
I want you to come out and walk.
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna come out.
please.
I am gonna come out and watch.
Did you post that workout of Ari?
Yeah, he's a bad dude, man.
You didn't clip it? You
I
didn't edit it?
No, I
did it?
just shot it one take on the iPhone. He's a bad dude. I feel sorry for the kids who got to go against him in a couple weeks.
Ready when you are.
Yeah.
No, I
ready
could
when
have.
you are.
I wanted to edit it.
Oh,
Edit.
I'll film another workout of his today.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's kind of boring doing this one. It's just like you go to a e-ball slam and then jump. You're editing the same thing over and over again.
If you guys got up late and you didn't do your school, when are you going to do your school?
We have it in the afternoon.
We have it in the afternoon.
Oh, because
Well,
on Mondays
we-
it's in the afternoon.
We do have school, but I don't want to do it.
You don't?
No.
How
That's the
come?
first time I ever didn't want to do it.
How come you don't want to do it?
Well, you see, I got my work late. And it was
All
on
those tutors there
Friday.
think all those tutor things video games are good for you.
Oh, go on, Ari.
So I got my work late. I was supposed to get it on Thursday. Instead, I got it on Friday. And I did some of my work.
Mhm.
And then tomorrow is Saturday, and I usually have nothing, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
You couldn't follow that shit.
I'm just doing my routine every single.
Who's the best in the house at ping pong?
Avi.
Better than me?
I mean, I can beat him,
Heck
but he
yeah.
can beat me like more.
All right. You're dismissed.
Are you
You're-
coming?
Yeah. But
Dismissed?
that's like my way of saying your time on the show is done.
We're done when you're done.
Oh. All right. Dave Castro Weekend Review will be coming at some point today. Does anyone else have any shows today? We have to do a CrossFit Games update show. I got to get, I want to get Chase and JR and John on.
Hey, what about that podcast that aren't the Armenian people?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It could be something too.
Oh,
Pedro has a show today.
Oh, who's he have on?
Adrian Mundweiler.
Oh, maybe I'll get. Is Munweiler a regular on his show?
Yeah, he comes on pretty often with Pedro, and they just talk about CrossFit stuff. This one's going to be 2025 CrossFit Games review.
Oh, he scored.
It's at
Holy
2
shit!
2 p.m.
Holy
my
shit!
time.
Say that again.
2 p.m. my time, so 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. your time.
Okay, I'll watch Clydesdale now too.
Sorry,
I think he started
noon.
already. Hey, I heard a crazy story yesterday.
Me too.
Crazy story
What?
about an autistic kid that had an interaction with Danielle Brandon. It's crazy.
Oh, I would love to hear this story.
It's
too.
crazy. It's not my story to tell, but it's
Then don't tell it.
it's the craziest story. I'm assuming it'll be on the next dense updates. It's
Crazy.
Clydesdale starts in 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9:15 your time, I guess.
Jeff always leaves us at 9:15.
Huh.
we gotta
Makes
go.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
we gotta go.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Okay, I'll see you guys in there.
No. Oh,
No, you're coming too.
Oh,
Yeah, there's 6 too.
it's bring your kids to work day, people.
How fun.
What do you mean? We're the best part of the show.
Bring your kids to work and have them screw it all up. Your friends can see what shitbags your kids are.
What do you mean? We bring you to our sports.
No, he brings you to your sports.
Yeah, yeah,
What are you
Old
talking about?
man.
yeah,
You're driving, little man?
yeah. He ain't doing shit.
You had a you have.
But
to
I
have a
hand
bald
him his
person
butt
explain
in
that to you.
sports.
What did you say, Ari?
You had a bald person explain that to
Oh, wow, wow.
Damn, he nailed you.
Wow, good one. Haven't heard that one before. Nobody makes jokes about bald people.
All right, me, Caleb, and the dickheads are out. Love you guys. See you later.
you. Bye bye.